Okay, this is going to be case number 2022 PO 00218. Stephen Blanks as petitioner versus Barbara Blanks. And ma'am, is your name Buchanan or is it Blanks?
It's Buchanan.
Okay. Would the two of you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. There are a few things that I need to tell you before we get started. All right. This is Superior Court of Clayton County. Excuse me, my name is Brad Gardner. I'm a magistrate judge sitting by designation as a Superior Court judge to hear this matter. This case involves a petition for a restraining order under the Family Violence Act. The status of this case at this time is that a protective order has been issued, usually upon application of one party without notice and without presence of the other party. The purpose of the hearing today is to determine whether the protective order will be continued. That may happen two ways. The first way is that both sides can consent or agree to a continuation of the protective order. If that does not occur, then the petitioner will have the burden of proving by a preponderance of the evidence that the respondent has committed an act of family violence and that there is a reasonable likelihood of future acts of family violence. If the order is continued, it will stay in effect for 12 months and will automatically expire at that time. The order may be converted into a permanent order only upon the written motion of the petitioner following an additional hearing before the court. If the order is going to be continued today, there are a number of the issues that may need to be resolved based upon your particular circumstances, and we'll deal with that as we go along. If you have shared use of any property with the other party, whether it's a residence, automobiles, furnishings, or anything else, the right to the temporary use and possession of the property will have to be decided. If you have incurred obligations to pay debts with the other party, responsibility for making payments on those debts during the time of the order is in effect must be decided. If both sides in your case would like a chance to talk before we have a hearing to see whether you can resolve some or all of these issues, I will make that time available to you. However, no one is required to engage in settlement discussions. There are allegations of violence in these cases, and if you're not comfortable talking to the other side, you're not required to do so. Mr. Blanks, as the petitioner, would you like an opportunity to speak to Ms. Buchanan to determine whether there are matters that you can resolve?
Yes.
Ms. Buchanan, would you like to speak to Mr. Blanks to see if there are matters that can be resolved?
I guess so.
Okay. Yes.
Before we do that, can you call me?
Yes. Let me finish reading this and then I'll call you.
Yeah.
If you are the person who filed the case and you no longer want a protective order, please make that announcement. So, Mr. Blanks, are you still wishing to have a protective order issued?
No,
So you want to dismiss this matter?
I want to dismiss it.
Okay. Miss Mary? Miss Mary?
I'm sorry, yes, sir.
Mr. Blanks has indicated that he wishes to dismiss this matter. I'm willing to do that.
Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and dismiss the TPO?
We're going to dismiss the TPO. Ms. Buchanan, was there a stay away provision placed on you when you were arrested?
Yes.
Is that order still in effect?
I don't know.
Has it been removed?
I really don't know. I really don't know the law.
I think we were supposed to come to this hearing to get it removed, I thought.
Okay, so Mr. Blanks, This matter is currently, will be pending in the state court of Clayton County. And the Solicitor General's office is responsible for determining whether that provision can be modified. If your matter is still within the magistrate court, you can file a petition for it to be modified unless I can get my hands on it.
Modified, what do you mean by modified?
So we place a stay away provision on every instance where there is an alleged act of family violence, because what we don't want is for whatever led to that matter to just come back up. And so sometimes it was a heat of the moment thing, and sometimes it was a long-standing thing. We don't know as a judge at that first hearing, so we just set a bright line for Ms. Buchanan to stay away from you, because we can do that. If you wish for that that bond condition to be modified, you can ask for that to happen. And the Solicitor General's office is the office that generally deals with it.
You keep saying modified. I'm not understanding what you mean by that.
Okay, so it can be removed completely. It can be changed from a stay away to no violent contact. It can be changed to any other way. Okay.
I thought we were trying to remove it today, right now.
Okay. What I have before me is a petition that was filed. Looks like, where's the date? That was filed January 27th, 2022 by you seeking a temporary protective order.
Right.
That's what we're here on today.
Right.
So you're saying that you want that to be dismissed, correct?
Yeah.
But there's possibly another order outstanding that was issued against Ms. Buchanan when she was arrested.
What order is that?
All right, I want you to listen to comprehend, Mr. Blanks.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So when a person is arrested on a family violence allegation,
Okay.
simple battery, criminal trespass, there is a stay away provision automatically placed on her bond condition. So if she were to violate that bond condition, she could go back to jail, or she could face felony charges of aggravated stalking.
Okay.
When you filed a petition for a temporary protective order, you started a second process. We're here today on the second process, not on the process that you had nothing to do with.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so far, I guess.
So I'm hearing you say that you want that first provision to be modified. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm trying to resolve it.
I understand that. And I'm trying to resolve it too. That's why I'm asking you questions.
Okay.
And I need for you to answer the questions I ask, or if you don't understand, ask me to explain further.
Okay.
Because I got it. You're trying to get rid of all of this stuff right here today, correct?
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
that. So that's why I'm asking you questions so that we can get to that point.
Okay.
So because you've requested for the temporary protective order to be dismissed that was filed on January 27, 22, I will grant that.
Okay.
Now, I need to find out if there was a stay away provision placed on her order. And if you are saying here today that you want that to be removed, we may be able to have you to sign something today to modify that condition so that you don't have to come back, as at least it relates to this.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to get to, trying to do whole service and not piecemeal.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
So he can take my house from me? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Wait. Where did you hear me say that?
Because you said that You said, well, you said it when property is involved and all that. Remember you said that?
Yes.
Okay, then, so that's my house. I've been living there since 1998. So,
Okay. So let me stop you, Ms. Buchanan, and I'm just stopping you because I'm going to have to do some digging to get through what we need to do. The temporary protective order is dismissed. So the stuff I just read to you, you can just wash it out your brain. Because that only applied to the temporary protective order,
okay.
which he
if
has said that he wants to have dismissed.
But I want to ask you, if he didn't want to have it dismissed, he could have taken my house from me?
Why are we talking about something that doesn't exist?
It just don't make sense to me.
If an alien came down today, they could take you up to the moon. So why are we discussing if an alien comes down today and one hasn't come down? And whether you're going to go to the moon or not?
So we'll see about this protection order. You said that.
Will be
If
dismissed.
resolved,
And I'm trying to get there, but I have to pay attention to you two, and I'm trying to do some research. So either I'm gonna do the research, or I'm gonna keep responding to the questions that are being asked. But it's my job to make certain that each one of you know what's going on. So I have no problems in answering your questions, but what I hear from Mr. Blanks, Ms. Buchanan, is he wants the bond condition, if it was placed, to be modified or removed, Mr. Blanks, and he wants the TPO to be dismissed. So what that means, if those things happen today, once these orders are filed, you can go back to your house, Ms. Buchanan. Okay? Does that make sense to you?
yes.
Now, the two of you have to understand that I'm trying to find it out because I don't know what happened. So I need to find the date that it occurred, that Miss Buchanan was arrested. And your name is spelled B-U-C-A.
They spelled it wrong.
Okay. How do you spell your name?
Buchannon.
Did you find something out, Miss Mary?
Yeah, I'm looking, I know what date, so we're not saying all of that on YouTube. And I'm actually
Okay.
looking for the bond order right now, okay?
Okay.
So just give me a few minutes to find it.
It was not my intent to come off harsh, but a lot of times if I'm direct, we can get these matters taken care of.
Yes, but I just think it's so, I mean, how can he take my house and keep me out my house like that?
Okay, so whenever there's an allegation of family violence battery, there is an alleged offender and alleged victim. And if the two live together, the court has no authority over the alleged victim. The court only has authority over the alleged offender. So if the house belongs to you, it belongs to you, but as a judge, I have no authority to kick Mr. Blanks out of the house. And often, this comes a lot of times with ladies who are in your position, where I try to reverse the situation. And I say, what if Mr. Blanks beat you up every day? And you finally got the courage to call the police because Mr. Blanks has been beating you up and Mr. Blanks go to jail. Do you think it's fair for you to get kicked out of the house just because Mr. Blanks was beating on you and you found the courage to call the police?
I don't know.
So, ma'am, that's why these conditions can be modified. But
I'm sorry.
unfortunately, what happens is, and this is something that you both should keep in mind. We just don't have the resources to be at everybody's house policing every dispute or argument that everyone gets into. Generally, when the police are called, it's by one of the parties or a neighbor, a child, or someone nearby. So when that happens and the police come out, most often somebody's going to jail because this dispute is something that just can't continue to happen. All right. So it looks like you appeared before me on January 28th, and they charged you with the felony, but it was actually, I mean, I charged you with the misdemeanor, but it was a felony on the bond order. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to issue an amended bond order right now, and I'm going to send it over to the courthouse for Mr. Blanks to sign. So, Mr. Buchanan, I'm gonna leave a little spot at the bottom for you to sign, indicating that you wish for this stairway provision to be removed.
Talking to me,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Blanks,
I'm sorry, what did I call you?
Mr. Buchanan.
I'm sorry, sir.
I'm sorry, Judge. So did you send that over to somebody or?
Yes, I was gonna send it over to you, but I thought I saw Shan come on. Or I could send it to Maurice.
Yeah, send it to Maurice.
Okay.
And then I'll call them and let them know he's on.
Okay, Maurice,
Maurice.
I'm about to email this modified bond order to you.
Yes, sir.
There's a spot for Mr. Blanks to sign with an asterisk at the bottom, acknowledging that this is going to be modified.
Yes, sir.
When that happens, would you make copies for both Ms. Buchanan and Mr. Blanks?
Yes, sir.
And this will get entered into the system, but Ms. Buchanan, I would encourage you to keep a copy of this with you at all times.
I'll be excused, Your Honor.
Not yet. I'm about to email it over to you.
Okay.
And I just want to make certain that they both get a copy, and when they both get a copy, they can be excused.
Yes, Your Honor. We good, Judge?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I was just waiting on your response. I was about to go to my office to get it.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Okay, I just sent the order over to Mr. Hutchinson. While we're waiting, Mr. Blanks, do you have any questions about what just took place here today?
No, not really.
Okay, Ms. Buchanan, do you have any questions?
Okay, you said you send an order to have it modified?
I removed the order. And so once you get the order, it'll get filed in and then we'll at least have Mr. Blank's signature on it, and you'll have a copy. And we'll be able to move forward from there.
So is it being modified or is it being removed?
It's being removed.
Okay.
See, that's what drove me off. I didn't know what you meant by modified at first.
I'm
That's why-
sorry.
That's why I kept asking over and over. So modified and remove mean the same thing.
Yes,
Okay,
the modification is to removal.
okay.
And I had to keep the paper with me all times. Well, if it's being removed, why do I have to keep the paper with me?
To protect yourself. Okay. Let's say that you and Mr. Blanks are all happy today. And then 5 days from now, you're not so happy anymore. And the police are called. The only thing they're going to possibly see is the original bond order. I'm trying to help you protect yourself. You don't need to do that. You can do whatever you want to do. But if you get arrested and then you say, well, they arrested me, the judge changed the order. And say, well, do you have it? Well, no, I don't have it with me, but the judge did it. You can call the judge. They're like, okay, we can't call the judge. You're going back to jail. So it's up to you, man.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I
Yes,
got,
sir.
I'm just, you want her to sign on the defendant line or on the asterisk?
No, I want Mr. Blanks to sign
Her sign,
because
okay.
he's the one that's asking for this to be done.
Got it. Got it. I'm giving him the document now.
It's under the date.
Yes.
It's not another, it's two, it's the same thing.
Ms. Buchanan, why would you not want to carry this document with you?
I didn't know. I don't want to carry it. I will carry it. I'm just saying that if you removed it, I mean, it's in the system. Everybody should know.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Does the system work perfectly?
No, because this hasn't
Okay.
worked perfectly.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You can, they call it, you're taking a risk.
Okay.
And in my opinion, it's an unreasonable risk when it doesn't have to be that way.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Please record, he's already signed, I'm about to provide him his copy, and I'm about to provide her her copy.
Thank you. Once the two of you receive your copies, you will both be free to go.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's so unfair that I have to be with someone that abused me, fight me, call me bees. That ain't right. That ain't right. I don't understand that, but that ain't right. It ain't right.
Miss Buchanan. So
It's not right.
how long have you and Mr. Blanks been in a relationship?
About 6 years, but we've been married about 4 years. And after we got married, and maybe we had a good 1 year, but the rest of the years, it's been rough. It's been rough.
Have either one of you filed for a divorce?
I'm filing for a divorce.
Okay.
Okay, but I don't think I should have to continue living with a man that abused me verbally, put his hands on me. I got
Miss
to
Blanks,
continue living like that.
Miss Blanks, that's where you file a divorce and you seek temporary custody of the home. See, I don't know where we got to the point where people want to do everything backwards. Nobody wants to follow the rules anymore. They just feel like because they feel a certain way, then it should be that way. If you don't want to be married, file for a divorce. Seek custody of the home. Do the things that you need to do to protect yourself.
So I can file for a divorce and then get a protection order at the same time?
You can file for divorce. I can't advise you about how to do whatever. I would suggest you hire a lawyer.
Okay, so until that time, right, meantime, I still got to live with somebody putting their hands on me and calling me names and stuff. That's what you're telling me. I have to live like that.
Ma'am, this is a life that you chose. I didn't choose that life for you. I didn't place him in that home. You placed him in that home.
Okay,
So
so can I,
don't flip this around on us. If you made a poor decision, fix it. There are ways to fix it. You don't have to live like that, but you can't blame other people for the decision.
I'm not blaming anybody, Your Honor. I'm really not. I just, can I file for a protection order?
Ma'am, I cannot advise you as to
Okay,
that.
okay, I want to
All I
file
can
for.
tell you is that if you don't want to be in a divorce, if you don't want to be in a marriage, file for a divorce. If you
Okay.
go and try to file a protective order, this protective order is going to be in the system and it's going to be seen as retaliatory.
That's foul. This is so wrong. It's so wrong.
Okay. Anything else, ma'am?
No.
Okay, you're free to go.